What should you use to make a traditional jack-o'-lantern?
Pumpkin.
Oh! No, it's not a pumpkin. Yes!
A turnip.
A turnip is exactly right.
Ooh,
yes,
yeah.
very good. So turnips there on the left, and if you can't get a turnip, something called a mangel wurzel, which is on the right. Do you know where the tradition of Halloween comes from? I'm looking at Ashley.
Best country in the world, Sandy?
Denmark.
Oh, no.
No.
Ireland. Came from Ireland, from Samhain, S-A-M-H-A-I-N, which is Halloween,
Yeah.
All Hallows Eve. We celebrate our dead.
How do you say it? Because it looks like Samhain.
Yeah, Samhain.
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 Just haven't got time to say the whole thing properly.
Yeah. Very busy people.
Speaking of these kinds of infectious issue, Alan, you're a zombie. You bite Jimmy. Jimmy, you're no zombie. You bite Jack. Jack bites Mel, and so on.
Sue.
Right?
Sue,
Stephen, come on, Hugh.
10 points. 10 points now, Stephen, if you know our name.
It's that warm personal touch that you get when you come on this show. Get the conveyor belt, come on.
I'm so ashamed. Oh, Sue,
No one noticed you.
Sorry, I've just been bitten and been called the wrong name.
I'm sorry, Sue.
No.
I'm so sorry. Yes, you've been bitten. The point is, there you are. The reciprocation has gone on. You've all been turned into zombies. What I want to know is how long it would take for the whole planet, everyone in the world, to be turned into a zombie.
15
That's
minutes.
6.8 billion people.
I reckon it would take about... How are they travelling? Just in that...
Well, the trouble... Yeah.
That is really...
That
like
is the
holding a
problem.
tea tray on a cruise ship. That is, years, millennia.
I think it's a trick question. Because you're vegetarian, and you wouldn't bite me, I don't think. You'd have a salad.
I wouldn't consume you, but I would be prepared to kill you, turn you into one of me.
And then we will all live in windmills and solve crime. Zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know how long it would take.
32. But they're all biting one.
So it multiplies out.
It's an exponential growth, that's the
Yes.
point. Although it's 6.8 billion.
Isn't
3
there that
days.
great thing that they did, the Chinese emperor did
3
something
hours.
with a chessboard?
Yeah.
He did a thing with a chessboard where some guy said to him, you pay me 1 grain of rice for the first day, and 2 for the second day, and then 4, and then 8. And the guy said, oh, no problem at all, that doesn't sound like very much at all. And then by the end of the chessboard, it's all the rice in the world.
It's more than all the rice in the world. It's way more than all the rice in the world. It's a staggering amount. It's 64 squares. It's 8 by 8. I'll tell you how many it is. I'm going to have to read it because it's not the kind of number you can easily memorise. It's 18 quintillion, 446 quadrillion, 744 trillion, 73 billion, 709 million, 551,615 grains, which is what the whole world could possibly produce in 80 years if all arable land was converted.
So if that's 64, I reckon 30 days.
Well, it's not
Zombies.
bad. 38 days is
38 days.
for a full infection rate.
What happened, this is my question to you, what happened to 3/4 of the people accused of witchcraft in England?
Drowned, burned, killed.
We were much gentler than you might think. They were acquitted.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that saying the wrong message to witches?
We were apparently rather resistant to the idea of destroying witches in England, and unlike views espoused in so-called books, and I use the word book very loosely, like the Da Vinci Code. It is complete loose stool water. It is arse gravy of the worst kind. Anyway.
He's a blues singer.
Please welcome Loose Stool Water. Very good. Excellent. Well, that particular panful of that material did claim that about 5 million women were burned or hanged around Europe for being witches. There's absolutely no evidence there's anything like as much as that. Probably about 500, probably less in England. And they weren't burned, they were hanged.
The lawyer would have said, maybe not go to court dressed like that. No.
Yeah. It's 2 possibly burned. That's the only evidence that 2 were burned. The rest were hanged, probably about 400 or 500 at the most. There are lots of Hammer films. The devil rides out and those kind of things. Usually Peter Cushing, and sometimes, if you were very lucky, they would have Charles Gray in a huge white smock.
Peter Cushing lived in Whitstable when I lived in Whitstable, and a local band had a song about him which went, Peter Cushing lives in Whitstable, I have seen him on his bicycle, I have seen him buying vegetables, Peter Cushing lives in Whitstable.
Now, which horny member of royalty is immune from any form of legal prosecution? Yes.
Prince Andrew.
It's going to be something with horns.
Yes.
Is it like a royal cow or something?
No, there should be,
The
I think.
royal cow.
That's a snail, what you're
Brian from Magic Roundabout.
Come on out, horny member of royalty.
In the context of the occult,
Yes.
who is a horny royal?
Devil.
The devil is exactly right.
You can't prosecute the devil?
No, so, 1971, there was an American called Gerald Mayo attempted to sue the devil, and there is the case. The United States, ex-royal Gerald Mayo versus Satan and his staff. And it was heard by the US District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania. Mr. Mayo alleged Satan has, on numerous occasions, caused plaintiff misery and unwarranted threats. Against the will of the plaintiff, Satan has placed deliberate obstacles in his path and has caused the plaintiff's downfall. The first point that was raised by the judge, a man called Gerald J. Weber, was that he wasn't sure that they could prosecute Satan, as Satan was technically a foreign prince, and if sued, he might be able to claim immunity.
Surely it's a typo. He meant Stan.
And in the end, they refused his request because nobody could find an address to serve the Satan the papers.
Yes, you have to put it in their hand, don't you?
Yeah.
Otherwise it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Now, which popular game traditionally ends with all the players being thrown into a lake of fiery sulphur?
Well, I hope it's show jumping. I hate show jumping. Oh, God. I'd have one of those after every jump.
Before and after.
Yeah.
It's not show jumping, though it would certainly liven it up, I
It
grant
sounds biblical.
I don't
to
think
me.
it's the
Well-
humans, though, it's pieces. Wouldn't it be pieces?
Well, I'll tell you that it's a game that went dramatically out of fashion in 1972. Early 72, it was more popular than Monopoly. But by the end of 72, it had almost completely gone out of fashion because of a film.
Mousetrap. Mousetrap.
No, there is no film of
because of a
Mousetrap.
film, is it Drafts? Remember that film? Drafts.
The film's no...
The truth about drafts.
No.
Drafts makes you go bald. Don't play drafts.
The film is not a game, there's a game in it.
There's a game in
This
it.
game is played in it, and it's scary.
Oh, is it a séance?
Yeah,
Ouija
it is a
boards.
séance using a Ouija board.
OK.
And what film has there a Ouija board?
With
The Exorcist
yeah.
is the right answer. One of the truly great films of the 20th century.
Is a Ouija board really a game? I don't remember ever seeing Ouija board scenes in a film and at the end going, right, who won?
Not dead. Well, the odd thing about Ouija, it was a board, it still belongs to Parker Brothers.
It's out.
Yeah, Ouija is a proprietary name, it's trademarked.
Is it
Ouija.
we, ya?
Interesting point. That is some people's theory of the name of it is, yes, 2 words for yes, we, the French, and ja, the German, but no one's quite sure about where the name came from, except that it's a game that was invented. The board was invented and it was sold and people played it. I mean, it's weird to say that, but they enjoyed the fact that it nearly always works in as much as, you know, people spell out words and they don't quite know how they're doing it. It's clearly not dead people.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was not originally supposed to be dead people. It was supposed to be that you contacted yourselves, a part of yourselves that automatically wrote. It was not about seances.
Dead people just joined in.
Yeah.
This is good. This is the one for us.
Even when recently asked, only a third of the people who still use Ouija boards say they do it to contact dead people. And in the First World War, it was used to contact your troops abroad, supposedly.
So, hold on. Are some dead people trying to communicate with the living through Monopoly?
Yeah. There was a court case in the 90s, I'm sorry to say, in Britain, a murder case, quite an important one, And the jury had to be dismissed because in their hotel overnight, they used a Ouija board to try and contact the murdered person. And apparently the murdered person said, the guy in the dock is guilty, convict him. And said, but the judge heard about it and dismissed the jury, quite rightly, you may say. But the awful thing was, if they'd done it in the jury room, the judge couldn't have dismissed them. Because the judge has no right in law to know what goes on in a jury room. The deliberations must be private.
Unless he's dead.
Yeah, that's really complicated.